Okay, everyone. As a quick reminder, we looked at in the second term what factoring a trinomial, and we did samples of these where we factored trinomials, but now we're going to factor quadratics. Well, what's the difference right there? Trinomial has three terms. Ax squared is one term. Bx is a second term, and plus c is a third term. They cannot combine because the variables are different. But what makes this trinomial a quadratic? Well, look at this. When we say that 2x squared minus 15x plus 7 is equal to y, now we have created a quadratic. So, now that we have it equal to y, and you'll notice it's also a function, input x, output y. So it's also a function. It's a quadratic function. We're going to follow the steps to factor it that we saw in the second term. If you will recall, the first step required that we observe the first term, and see what multiples we can find. So if we have 2 as our first term, we have always 2 and 1. So that's quite simple. That's going to tell us exactly that we know in the factored form it's going to be 2x and x. There's no other possibilities. So now that we know in step 1 that the a of our quadratic equation is 2x and x, we can move on to step 2. In step 2, we are observing the c of a quadratic, the c element, the last term of the quadratic. And here we have 7. So it's important to take into account what possible multiples make 7. We have 7 and 1, but always remember your negatives as well. We also have -7 and -1. They would equal +7 when multiplied. So we have our options for c. This will help us when we move on to step 3 to determine what the possible integers are in the binomial product. In step 3, we're going to determine which combination of 7, 1 or -7 and -1 is going to give us our b term of -15. We're going to see which one it gives us. The only way to get there is through testing. So if we have 7 here and 1 here, let's apply the FOIL method to see what we get. 1 times 2 gives us 2x, and 7 times x, well, that's going to give us 7x plus 2x. So that's 9x. That's not what we're looking for. So we're going to have to try another method. Let's switch the numbers and have 1 here and 7 here now. Now we have, let's see, 2x times 7, that's going to give us 14x, and 1 times x, well, that's going to give us plus x. That's not quite what we're looking for still, so we can cross these two options off. 1 and 7, that won't work. But now let's test out our negatives. Maybe that will work. If we have -7 in this area right here, and -1 in the other binomial product, let's see what we get. We have -7 times x, that's going to give us -7x, and 2x times -1 will give us -2x. So that gives us 9x, -9x of -7x minus 2x. That's not really what we're looking for, so we're going to have to cross that option off. Let's go with the last option, which obviously will be the option of -1 and -7. Let's see how this works out. Oh, come on, why did it just... So if we have -1 and -7 here, let's see what we get. We get -x, yeah, and we get -14. So -14x, -7 times 2, -14 minus x will give us, ooh, look at that, -15x. So it appears that we have exactly what we were looking for. Exactly what we were looking for, of, open brackets, 2x, and we knew that -1 was going to go there, so 2x minus 1, and x minus 7. Okay, perfect. So we have 2x minus 1 and x minus 7. This will be our factoring of a trinomial, of the quadratic, 2x minus 1 and x minus 7. So from the original standard form of our quadratic, where we had a of 2x squared, b of -15x, and c of +7, we managed to factor it into a factored form of 2x minus 1, one binomial product, and x minus 7, another binomial product. This would be known as the factored form of the quadratic, the factored form of the quadratic. It will be very useful for the next video that you see below on the zero product property. Should you need any extra assistance with factoring quadratics, I will be available in office hours, and see you for your attention. Have a good day, everyone.